Soojin, who just debuted as a soloist, is facing a lot of challenges at the start of her career, from whispers of blacklistment to surprising weight loss and rumored disagreements with her former agency, KOOKIELIT Entertainment. There seems to be a lot of issues. After dealing with a career-ruining scandal in 2021, pretty much nobody thought that Soojin could ever come back to the industry. No matter how much proof she provided of her innocence, netizens were already convinced that she was guilty and would never let her prove otherwise. So, a career in an industry where many netizens hated her seemed like an impossible thing, yet Soojin managed to return. She took a few steps to make people warm up to her by not announcing her solo right away, but by opening a personal Instagram account. Even though there were mixed reactions to this, Soojin reached more than 1 million followers in only a few hours, and her Instagram account became a big topic in fandom spaces and in online forums. Her true fans were more than happy to have her back, and it showed that if she were to come back, then she would have a lot of support internationally. However, they still had no idea what Soojin was planning to do in the future. Would she be coming back as an idol, or did she open her Instagram account to give her fans a glimpse of her life as a commoner? Luckily for everyone, it was the first option. After posting on her Instagram for a few months, on October 16th, several news outlets reported that not only had she signed to another company, but she was planning on making her solo debut very soon. Of course, the first instinct from everyone was to be doubtful of the information. It was mostly because nobody had even heard of her company, BRD Communications, and nothing could be found about it when searching online. Not only that, but to some, it was very unlikely that any Korean company would want to associate with her. Whether they believed that she was innocent or not didn't matter, as most Korean companies wouldn't want to associate with an idol who went through a mistreatment scandal. But BRD Communications is a real company, and they also gave Soojin respect, a safe place to grow as an artist, and the solo debut she deserved. Soojin went on to open accounts on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube in addition to her Instagram. She uploaded her first video on her channel, which was a dance performance video titled Black Forest. Then her comeback Agashi got announced, with its release date being November 8th. As soon as Agashi dropped, people had different opinions. Some loved it, some found it lackluster, and others were just happy to see her back. Even those who were disappointed by the debut figured that Soojin probably had to play it safe with the sound, so as to not face further scrutiny from the public. No matter what people thought of the debut, it's undeniable that it did a lot better than everyone expected. On November 10th, the music video for Agashi snagged the #1 spot on the worldwide trending chart. That's not all. The album did just as good globally, hitting the top of the iTunes chart in 9 different places, including Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, and Vietnam. The album also surpassed 50,000 sales on Hanteo and reached 109 on Genie and 48 on Melon Hot 100. And even though her album wasn't exactly welcomed by Korean netizens, it was obvious that they were at least a bit curious, seeing as she occupied 3 spots on the Melon real-time search the day of her debut. Soojin herself was in disbelief that this was happening in the first place. In a Q&A that was released the day of her debut, Soojin said, "It doesn't feel real yet. I think it was more realistic and thoughtful when I went through the process of working on it. I was very nervous about how people would perceive me before the release of the contents, but I'm thankful that my fans like it." However, as you probably expected, this wouldn't be exactly easy for Soojin. Her scandal was pretty big, and since it resulted in her being forced out of her group and the company, it was hard for people to forget what went on. As mentioned, despite her success overseas or the netizens' curiosity regarding her album, it was already known that the possibilities of her having mainstream success in South Korea were little to none. A positive update was that she would appear on Studio Choom to perform Agashi, which surprised a lot of people because, let's be honest, nobody expected that she would be able to promote on shows again or do variety as other idols. Again, it didn't matter whether she was guilty or not, as the vast Korean public had already decided and companies were going to go along with it. But after appearing on Studio Choom, the sad news hit the internet. It was reported on November 10th that Soojin had allegedly canceled her domestic promotions and would be catering to her international fan base instead. The report said that BRD Entertainment, Soojin's agency, revealed that Soojin wouldn't appear on any music broadcasts and would be connecting with fans through social media and continue holding fan meetings. They said that they would provide an explanation later, but most people thought that this decision was made because of her scandal. Even Daily and Media concluded that this was just BRD Entertainment's strategy backfiring in their faces. The media outlet said that the company had tried to debut Soojin quietly without any mention of her past controversy, which according to them isn't genuine, but of course the public remembered, which could be why she isn't promoting in Korea. There's also a speculation that she's being blacklisted by the entertainment industry because, let's be honest, despite KOOKIELIT Entertainment not being the biggest company, they still have the power and the influence to make Soojin's solo career not easy. While it would technically not make sense for KOOKIELIT to do this, especially since i-dle are doing just as well without her and nobody associates the two anymore. The company could just be bitter about how things turned out. But looking at how she has a distribution deal with both Mnet and Stone Music Entertainment and worked with choreographer Loverin and producers Flip and Puff, who wouldn't have given her the time of day if she was blacklisted, it looks like the blacklistment theory is most likely untrue. This leaves us with two options. The first is that maybe both her company and Soojin decided that it would be best for now if she didn't promote domestically, especially since the Korean public is very welcoming about her. They could have tasted the waters with Agashi and Soojin's appearances in Studio Choom and the fan meetings, just to see if they could get the audiences to warm up to her. Not to mention that Soojin could be feeling nervous since this is the first time she's promoting without the i-dle members, and it could be nerve-wracking to perform in front of crowds of people when she has been laying low for nearly 3 years. The second option is that there were simply no available slots for her on music shows. A Reddit user brought up Wheein as an example, who, despite having no controversies, couldn't appear on Music Core and Inkigayo because producers thought she wouldn't attract enough viewers. The article about the cancellation of her schedules also could be nothing but part of a campaign to taint her image. The fans noted that the article in question was actually written by a reporter who had written a bunch of articles in 2021 smearing Soojin when she was dealing with her school mistreatment controversy. In fact, if you look at the few past articles that the journalist in question has written, he mentions the words school violence in every single title, so people believe that he's not trustworthy. Additionally, it was pointed out that the article didn't mention any scheduled promotions she could cancel, and her company stated they don't have anything planned, which might mislead readers into thinking the public doesn't want her. What we should focus on right now is Soojin's mental health. Being under so much scrutiny can't be good for one's well-being, and fans are already suspecting that it's affecting her. When pictures and videos from her fan meeting came out, a lot of people noticed that she had lost a lot of weight, to the point where she looked shockingly thin. This could be her way of getting the public to notice her once again. The worst possibility is that she lost weight due to the amount of stress and pressure she has had to face these past few years. We can hope that's not the case, but idols already have it hard enough. It doesn't help that she had to deal with everything else on top of that too. What's important is that Soojin's debut proved more than ever that she still has the support of her fans even 2 years later. They showed it through streams, sales, and very kind words to Soojin herself during fan calls. It seems like she also has the support of her former group, or at least in some way. Even though we doubt that the i-dle members can publicly interact with her, Shuhua's close friend followed Soojin, and Minnie's brother has liked her picture, so she's probably still in contact with the members, which really warms our hearts. While this comeback might have been hard, we hope that Soojin knows that she's very loved and that this will get much easier for her with every comeback she has. She just has to keep doing what she loves, and she'll always have her fans behind, encouraging her in every step of the way, and we'll be here to do so as well. How do you feel about Soojin's debut, and do you think she has a chance to become a successful soloist? Make sure to share your own thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching.